Mm. Hello. Um. Hi. It's Thanksgiving. Hello. Uh. I really just wanted to turn it on and do a thing because I want to make sure that I'm keeping up. Checking out my beard again. Check me out. I'm getting all grizzly and shit. Uh. No. So I got a phone call that was just really weird. Like, first of all, nobody calls me on Facebook Messenger. Like, who does that? Who makes calls on Facebook Messenger? But whatever. So it rings, and Asia immediately assumed it was my sister. So did I, because Trina is typically the one who will call me on Facebook. So I looked at it, and it was actually an old friend of mine. When I say old friend, I mean it in the loosest possible way. Like, understand that my last physical interaction with this person was her mother telling me that because I no longer got money from the state and could pay her money to sleep in her room, me and my son couldn't live there. So these friends of the family who were just like, if there's nothing in it for us, you can't come. And I'm not even mad about that because it's like if you didn't have it, cool. Like if having 2 extra mouths to feed puts you in a bad way, I completely get that. Say that. That's fine. But like, and I honestly, I guess they did. I guess that's kind of what they did. She was like, if you don't have money, I guess you can't stay. But I just feel like that wouldn't be a thing I would say to people that I cared about. You know, like if Micah dropped out of college for whatever reason and was like, "Hey, I need a place to stay. I don't have any money." Yes, you do have a place to stay. You might not have no money, but you got a place to stay. You always got a place here. Like that's how your people should be. But that's me expecting me from other people, which isn't fair. Other people aren't going to do what I do. But anyway, so she fucking calls, and it is immediately abundantly clear that this is more you calling, attempting to get information about what's going on with my family, specifically what's going on with Kari, because this friend is the very, very last friend. This is the very last person in my life who has anything to do with Kari's birth mother. So it stands to reason that if they are still close, and then she called and put me on speakerphone in a room to the point that her mother could also hear me, stands to reason that she might have actually been there too. Even if she wasn't, doesn't matter to me because when you call to get information, the information you got was, oh yeah, Kari finished his classes and now he teaches an online class. Like when we got off the phone, what did like when you hung up and put your phone down and two of y'all, yeah, girl, I knew it. Kari's successful as fuck now without me. I fucking knew it. Like, what are you really saying? Like talking behind my back don't make me know never mind because all you can say is that we doing okay. So if you call to get information, I'm happy to give you information. Our bills are paid. We had a full meal. My wife cooked Thanksgiving dinner for our entire family by herself for the first time, and everything was wonderful. We listened to Elite Force, which was fun. We watched BoJack Horseman. Me and Kari played some games. Like, we had a good evening. Like, it was very family oriented. We had a good time tonight, and that's how people should be. Like, we had a really good family thing. And I spoke to a couple of people that said Happy Thanksgiving and stuff, but that was really as far as it went. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't call up my ex to pump them for information because I don't care. And if you want to call and pump me for information, well, let me give you some information. Everything here is fucking great. Where's Kari? Kari's in his room. Oh, he
Maybe
don't.
she contacted him herself because she knew he wasn't going to answer. He doesn't care.
You know what? It's likely that she probably attempted to call Kari, and Kari either didn't hear it because he was asleep or saw it and was like, "The fuck she want?" and didn't answer.
Why would he? I can't imagine him answering the phone for Jimbo Smith.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. And if he did, oh my God, that would be a conversation that would not last very long. Because if either one of them bitches called, he'd just be like, if he answered, so what can I do for you? You want, no, you just wanted to kick? No. You can text me and I'll get back to you whenever. Kari ain't looking to talk on the phone and catch up. You know, that's not his jam. And it, hmm? You know, I'm all for catching up with old friends. I'd be completely okay with that if we were actually friends, if we parted on good terms, if we were on good terms, if things were good between us. But things ain't been good with me and Temper Smith in 15 years.
Didn't you guys recently get into it about what was it? I forget what it was.
We about 2 years ago, we had a conversation about religion, and she was just like, "Well, things are bad in the world because of Satan, not because of God." And I'm like,
No, it was recently. Like she made a post, and then she said, "Why must you always be an asshole or something?" Because
"Oh, she did. She did post something." And I was, it's,
I don't even remember what it
I
was
don't remember what it
about.
was. She posted something, and I just chimed in with my opinion because when you put shit on the internet, that's what you're asking for. You want to hear what people think about the things that you had to say. So don't get mad when I say some shit you don't want to hear. I mean, it's not like I was like, you're a fat bitch that lives with your mom and you'll never have a man. Like, I'm not an asshole.
Also that.
I mean, I am an asshole, but I'm learning.
Also not what you said.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ain't nobody checking for Temper Smith. That's just not a thing. Oops, I said her name. Did I say Temper Michelle
Now people
Smith's
can look
name?
her up and date her.
Oh man, oh no. I shouldn't be putting her information like that. 8257 Carbondale, Detroit, Michigan.
Fuck.
Like, oh no, who would do such a thing? Like, you
Wow.
can go over there. Who the fuck want to go over there? Why would you even go into that neighborhood? Trust me, it's there. Don't go.
Now I gotta look up the house.
You can look it up. 8257 Carbondale. Would you like me to spell it for you? CARBO. I don't give a shit, dude. I don't give a fuck, man. Like,
Security code 44291.
right? Like,
She sleeps at 9.
oh my god, I could tell you what the windows in the back are, what the windows in the front are. Like, look, I lived there in that house with them for maybe 3 months. Maybe, yeah, about 3 months. And there's a problem when you sit on the toilet and your feet are in the tub.
What?
Because
I remember that.
because
But
the bathroom is just that fucking small.
Look, our
Like,
bathroom is
I have a small bathroom. All right, my bathroom is tiny, but damn, you could fit a person in it. Like, regular people-sized people can take a shit and not have their feet in the tub.
Wouldn't you guys walk to the store and go to the bathroom?
I would no, that was at Jackie's house. If I had to take a shit, I would walk up to the grocery store and take a shit. But it was like, if I had to shower, I would go home. I would go shower at the old man's house because I didn't want to shower at her house. Because also, Nana couldn't like stand up in the shower, so Nana had a seat in the tub, and that metal thing didn't move. So it was like either sit on Nana's thing while I shower or shower somewhere else.
Wait, so you didn't have the option to stand while showering?
No, it was like there was no.
Tempest also sit and shower.
And you
How
know
you
what?
Getting your
And
crevices?
dude, and Temper Smith is every bit of 300 pounds. Fuck that. I'm not even being mean.
You don't want to sit there like
That-
this and.
Nope. And I tell you what, I'm such a dick. I'm such a fucking dick about this. While this video uploads, I will attempt to find a full body picture of Temper Smith and make it the thumbnail so that you can see that this chick is every bit of 300 pounds. She is 300 pounds of no man will ever fuck you. Like, she's 300 pounds of she's so ugly she can't even get a butchy lesbian. Like, she's so fucking big you would have to swipe 3 times to see her whole profile picture on Tinder. She's not attractive. She's not a pretty girl. She don't necessarily know how to cook all that well. They wasn't the cleanest people. She work all the goddamn time. She bossy and controlling, and she want everything her way. And also, she brings stray cats in the house all the goddamn time. How you find a cat in your drain pipe and then bring it in the house, and then mysteriously one of your other cats gets sick and now his legs don't work, and you just keep him in the house
You
like
think that's linked?
uh, uh, absolutely, because there's something. Look, we've had small cat his entire life. He ain't never just woke up one day and his legs didn't work.
And then get an infection from scooting.
Like for yeah, now you got an infection from
Her
scooting
bag.
around.
It took 2 weeks for your bag to come. Do you not know what Amazon is?
Right? Do y'all do Amazon Prime not extend to Detroit? Is that a thing?
Order through eBay?
Like for eBay, dude, Etsy, nigga,
Right, no,
you
seriously, that sounds more like
nigga
Etsy.
ain't a Kmart in your area. You can't ride up to Kmart and get a thing for your cat to scoot on.
When was the last music? I don't even think Kmart exists.
I'm sure there's still a Kmart
No, that
somewhere.
one Kmart that was in stock, but I think it's gone.
Is it?
I think they're closing it down.
Look, the point is, Temper Smith, who been posting all these memes about how men should do this and how you shouldn't settle, will never find a man. She will never know the happiness of having a long-term thing. Because, okay, let's follow it through the conclusion. Since we're here, since I'm holding the phone, let's have a conversation. For the last couple of years, she's been putting all her time, money, and effort into getting her house together so that they would have a nice place to live so she can adopt. First of all, adoption agencies are not going to let a single black woman who lived with her mama in Detroit adopt a child while you work 2 jobs and now that child's room is in the basement that you just fixed up. Like, that's not how adoption works.
With stray animals.
It's like, yeah, with stray animals. That's like, you gotta
stray animals that she doesn't take to the vet to make sure
right? You got an animal with a known infection in your house right now. And you think the state gonna let you have a kid? And you know, it was fucked up is I bet you that's her mama putting that shit in her head because the only reason her mama took Janelle in was because it was money in it for him. It was like, oh, we could. Yeah, she took her in. She took a class or something so she could be a caregiver. And Janelle stayed with them for a little while. So, and the state gave them money. I wouldn't be surprised if they was doing that so they could have a couple of kids and then just live off the money they get from those kids. Wouldn't be surprised. But that's not the point. That's not where we were going. Where I was going was, let's say she fixes it up. Let's say she gets it up to code. Let's say she adopts a kid and they allow her to have 15 cats. Let's say that they're okay with the fact that the doors in this house don't fucking close unless they got like different doors. The doors in this house was more like closet doors where you had to open them up and they would bend in. It was weird. These are not
things where it's like you scoot it back and forth.
Yeah.
Yep,
these are not bedroom doors. But let's assume for a minute that despite the fact that this house is a shithole, they allowed you to do this, and now you've got a good system between you and your mama. You got these foster kids, and everything is cool. When you meet a man and you say, "Oh yeah, I live with my mama and my 15 cats and my 2 foster kids," you think that's the magic word, and he just gonna wife you up real quick?
Me too.
Like, you are 5'7", 300 pounds. You are not attractive. You are not. It's just not. It's just, I understand that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I am telling you now, in the eye that I behold, this bitch is ugly. Like
Think
that.
she ever had a thing for you?
She did. She did.
Really?
Temper Smith had a thing for me, and I can prove it to you.
Yeah, I never knew this.
I can prove it to you, and then we'll come back to this. I won't forget. I can prove it because that was my Star Trek buddy, and we would watch Star Trek. But then I started like doing other shit, and I wouldn't watch Star Trek every night at 11:30. So she would call me the next day, and she would be like, "As your best friend, you need to be able to make time for me every day. We have a standing date every day. We need to be doing this together because we're best friends." It's like, this is really starting to sound like I got another job. Like, I go to work, then I come home, and I got to punch in and kick it with you, and I got a woman? You better leave me the fuck alone.
I'm also 300 pounds, and you like me.
You are not 300 pounds. Shut the fuck up.
How much you think I weigh?
Realistically, 200 pounds. 200 pounds. And even if, let's say you were more than that, let's say you were 210, 220, it's proportioned. All that is ass and titties. Tempa Smith is just fat. Tempa Smith is just misshapen. But here's my, like, there's no dude who's gonna, oh, you 44 with two foster kids and you got a part-time job and a full-time job and your mama look like Skeletor with a bad Botox job and too much makeup. Fuck it, hell yeah, I'm in. Like, nobody want to fuck with you. Like, understand that to be in a relationship, you have to have something to offer the other person. And then what you have to offer has to be at least presented in a way that you can, like, it has to be an appealing package. Like, I don't know what my wife sees in me. I'm a big fat fucking tub of a man. Like, I look, I'm a big fat tub of a man. But my wife dig it, and that's enough for me. But in my 44 years, I have never heard that sentence come out of the mouth of another man in relation to Tempa Smith. Like, understand that I have been friends with Tempa Smith. If I had to put a number on it, we talking 1993, maybe early 90s. Like, I've known Tempa Smith for a long goddamn time. And the only boyfriend that I ever knew her to have was this skinny dude who went to jail for credit card fraud. So, like, and I remember her taking pictures of him in the jail, and they would like do poses and shit, and it was just like, people ain't lining up to be with Tempa Smith. And I'm not even saying, look at me, I'm this sexy big time anybody. Nobody's lining up to get with me, but the line stops at one, and my wife loves me to death, and that's enough for me. Like, the fact that I can say that and stop there, I'm good. Timber Smith does not have these things. Now, I know, I hear myself and I'm talking, and it sounds like I'm comparing my life to other people's lives, and I'm throwing shade, I'm talking shit, and I'm like, look how successful we are, look how successful you're not. That's not the case at all. Could be Tempa Smith makes more money than we do. Could be Tempa Smith's house is better. Could be Tempa Smith got rid of some of her cats and the hygiene's a little better. Could be that they fixed the doors and they remodeled the bathroom. I don't know. I don't know these things. But looking at what I can tell you, she's still 5'7". She's still 300 pounds. She still live with her mom. She's still bringing in stray cats. And she's still single. Like, and that's been for as long as I've known her. Period. Like, even we had a friend together. We collectively had a friend named Bridget, who was also, she was super cool. She had big titties, and she was the only chick who was ever taller than me that I was attracted to. But it was because as her height, her boob stopped like right here. So it was like, it was very easy to just look at her boobs. But even Bridget, who went to the army and got dishonorably discharged, came out, had a kid, and doing something with her life. Like, so Tempa Smith just can't have kids? It's not that you can't, it's just nobody wants to fuck you. Like, that's. You want to be mad at me for that? Like, whose fault is it that don't nobody want to fuck you? Like, I don't want to fuck you, I'm married. This has gone on way too long. This was. I'm not gonna let this frumpy bitch damage my calm because I had a great night with my family. It's just. Here's the thing. I don't. I have my ducks in a row, and for the ducks that aren't necessarily in a row, we're at least kind of careening them in a certain direction. Like, our ducks know where they're going. Like, now we just gotta be like, okay, quackers, you gotta line up, dog. You ready? You ready? Like, we getting them there. But, like, for all the things that Tempa Smith is attempting to line her ducks up for, it's just not how life works. Like, no social worker is going to come to your house and have to like shoo several cats away, and you know the place is just full of fucking cat hair, and then they're gonna do the tour of your house and go, based on what we've seen in your tiny ass fucking bathroom, this is the perfect place for you to bring a person. Sure, here's a person for you to take care of, and some money. Like, for you to be pumping all of this money into this, it's not gonna work. It's just not. Re- Meanwhile, realistically, I have very comfortable goals. Get married, check. Be happy, check. Make sure my people are good, check. Like, Asia's still enrolled in school. Asia's got a decent job. My kid's done with school. He's got a decent job. He's actually picking up another class, but he's still working. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing how he needed to stop and take a prep class for something, and they replaced him for that week. But he was so good at what he did, he had to find a way to fit taking that prep class and training his replacement. That's how fucking in demand my kid is. That on his week break, taking his other class, he's got to train his replacement for that week. So by the time he's gotten that guy to the point that he's ready to do the job, he'll just take his job back. So like,
So in other words, they just found an excuse for him to keep working.
yeah, they found an excuse for Kari to keep working because when you're good, that's what they do. You know. One more thing, because shit, this has already gone 20 minutes. This is literally a sitcom episode. I have been. I don't know what Tempa Smith does for a living, except that I know it's security. I know it's security, and I know it's in a clothing store. Because she always complains about how people leave shit in the aisles, and then security has to clean it up. To which I say, security don't clean. Not real security. Security secure. Cleaners clean. Like,
secure this cleanliness.
like for real. So I secured this aisleway. I secured this shirt on the hanger. That's not how that works. If you work security, you secure and you watch people as they do that shit. And if you just shorthanded and you want to help out, go ahead. But also, it sets a precedent.
Can you imagine if I was at work and somebody from like a department came down and documented and said, "Hey, you take this to this department?" Excuse me?
Right? So somebody from DGS came up with you and was like, "Hey, there was a spill. Can you help out?" No. No, I can't.
Like, it's not even that I don't want to. One, I don't want to.
Therefore,
but
yeah.
Also, it's like, that's not my job.
That's not my job description.
Me cleaning up that, I'm looking away from the door when anybody can come. So no, that's why
there's plenty of. So I know she's got a full-time job, and I know she's got a part-time job. Computer. What's the minimum wage in Michigan?
This year, Michigan's minimum wage is $9.45.
Okay.
It's hard to complain.
She said not. You said $9.45.
Not computer. What's the minimum wage in Michigan?
This year, Michigan's minimum wage is $9.45.
Yep.
$9.45. Minimum wage in Michigan. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that Tempa Smith makes $10 an hour. Matter of fact, I'm generous as fuck. We'll give her 11. Let's give her $11 an hour. You've got one full-time job and one part-time job. I'm going to assume that your full-time job is 40 hours. So a full-time job, 40 hours a week, at $11 an hour would be $440 a week. $880 every 2 weeks. Sounds good. Did I do that right? $11 an hour.
11 times what now?
11 times 40.
440.
440.
Yeah,
880. Now, times 0.22 for taxes. Let's just say they took $200 out of that. So her check would be $700 every 2 weeks. Sure. Then she's got a part-time job where she does 20 hours a week. I'm going to say 20 because, like,
that's reasonable.
That's reasonable. So that means it would be half of what she was doing there. So that means it would be an additional $350. So even after taxes, in 2 weeks, after you've done all this extra work, you brought home $1,100.
A month?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay.
But that's between two jobs. And I'm going to assume her mother also works. I'm going to assume her mother is also contributing somehow. And now because she owns the house,
Social Security,
she
honestly.
only really has to pay a mortgage. You still have bills, and there are other things that you would need to do. So realistically, like if you were bringing home $1,100 every 2 weeks, that's like a little over. That's $2,200 a month from just you. And let's assume for a minute that her mother can counter that. Let's say her mother brings in the exact same amount. Well, now the question becomes, why the fuck are you in Michigan? Like,
Because people are scared of
why
it.
aren't you
You
doing
can't,
something else?
because when you're in Michigan and you're doing decent, you're doing really good for yourself. But you bring that stuff out to California and you're just everybody else. And they like to be above. They like to be able to show, look, I got a nice car in a shitty city. Or my
Right?
house is not burned down on this block.
Right? Like, dude, you live in a neighborhood where all the houses are fucking burned down. Like, why is this the hill you want to die on? Like, for real. Like, I never want to be in a position where if I met somebody and I was like, "Hey, come back to my place," that I would be embarrassed to bring you back to my place. Like, I don't want to walk in the house at 2 o'clock in the morning. Shh, be quiet. My mom's asleep. And also be careful. I don't want you to trip over a cat. Like, whatever. Um, the point, it was just an awkward conversation, and she seemed to be more looking for information. So if you're looking for information to take back to people who seem interested in my relevant data, here it is. My kid's a teacher. My wife's on her way to being a doctor. Everything is everything here. Like, we are good. We just celebrated our first Thanksgiving without her mom, just us. Like, we didn't go anywhere, we didn't do anything. We stayed home and watched Bojack Horseman and ate. It was nice. And it's, what can you say? Oh, they don't even have a car. Okay, but also trains run every 15 minutes forever. Like, that's never been an issue for me. I'm one stop away from a Walmart, a Target, a dollar store, restaurants. Like, everything I need is right here in this area. It really is. And while my apartment is kind of small, it's ours. And we're good. And we pay for it. And it's like, we're not on the streets. We don't need help. I'm not calling you every 6 weeks saying, hey, can you send me this? Like, we're doing fine. We're doing just fine. But I'm going to go because I've been doing this for way too long. I literally just wanted to turn on the camera and just kind of get some shit out, and it's turned into a whole thing where I just took a shit on Temple Michelle Smith, 8257 Carbondale, Detroit, Michigan, 48227. Wow, that's mean. Oh well.